Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So right off the bat, before we get going, I'm gonna let you guys know I am on the ZR with the 2017 to 28 f2.8. I got the Nikon mic for the ZR, which is the is it B10 or D10? I really should know that. And you guys let me know what you think about the audio. Now, I have it at 15 on here, which, I think this will let me adjust it while I'm, nope, it will not let me adjust it while I'm recording. So based on the levels, it looks like it's all right. Probably can go a little lower. We'll see. But I just want to let you guys know at least what the setup is for the camera, which one I'm using, and the mic. I know there's not a lot of videos out here about this mic. I got it on front with focus, so it's more focused on my voice. Won't be hopefully dealing with anything that may happen while I'm recording this in the house. So let's get to it. So we're on Monday, December 29th. Hopefully I'll have this released today for you guys' viewing enjoyment. But I wanted to be able to come to you guys before this month and just to let you know how I've been getting on for the second month of shooting black and white only, whether I'm using my digital or my film cameras. Now, I will start with the film first. I've shot primarily HP5. I did shoot some Acros. I did shoot the Film Photography Project X-ray film, and I've had some wonderful experiences with all of those different stocks when shooting them. And again, they're all been black and white. My surprise film, believe it or not, is the Film Photography Project X-ray film. I believe it's a 400 speed film, and I got way better results than I thought I was going to get out of that film. Cleaner in some instances for sure on the grain, but it is a tricky film because it is very sensitive to light. And at 400 speed film on a snowy day, which is the images you see coming across, it was an interesting experiment, if you will. And I have another roll of it, but this gives me a good example of how I would want to shoot this film going forward. It really crushed the blacks, which I expected it would, and the highlights were really blown in some instances, which I expected. But all in all, I think I did a great job on there. You guys let me know. When it comes to the digital, I actually shot the Q343 more. Now, I deliberately took this out to shoot it in the latter half of this month because of or at least the last couple of outings, I'll say, because of the firmware update. I shot this just before Christmas as it got into the blue hour, just to see how it would do, and it did not let me down with the updates that they did on the autofocus for this camera. One of my favorite images that I'm gonna go to here for that evening I went out was an image I took of a young lady being held by her mom, and she was pointing toward the ice skating rink and the tree because that's where the little girl wanted to go. And I shot this I had auto ISO on my camera, which is what I generally shoot. I had to go up this high as 6400 ISO, so it chose 1600 ISO for this image. It was definitely starting to get dark, but the way it detailed this young lady at f5 and 1/80th of a second. So at 1/80th of a second, you're definitely going to see some motion. The fall off after that young lady with the background, the people in the background, the how it depicted the tonal ranges between highlights to the midtones to the darks, it's phenomenal. I love this image. I love it for what the detail I was able to get on the young lady. Now I got some detail on the mom, particularly on her coat, but again at 1/80th of a second, the mom was talking and moving her head, and you see that motion, and I love it. Another image that I took that's one of my favorites from this outing is one of a group of young ladies that were coming across the street toward the tree. I was down in Detroit, Campus Martius area, and they had their hot drinks that they had gotten, and she just sparked my interest, so I was taking some snaps, And I loved how the autofocus nailed on her as well in motion while she had that cup. Now, originally I was trying to get her, this steam was coming from the cup, trying to get that. But the image I got of her actually with the cup in her mouth, coming across the street, and a spoon in her hand, I love it. I think this is a phenomenal image. Again, the fall off of the background on an f5 on this camera is fantastic. So that's what I've been doing this last month. I did get out a little more. I did shoot a lot more than I did in November. And where I'm at on my understanding of black and white for me after shooting it for 2 months is that I like how it clears the confusion, the clutter of color. With black and white, I'm able to really look at, especially if I'm taking my time and I'm looking through the viewfinder of the camera I'm using to focus on the subject, especially on the digital end, more so than the film, of course. On the digital end, I'm able to see that subject, how I want that subject to be, play with my dials quickly, and take that image and get what I got with the young lady being held by her mom. The autofocus updates for the Q3 line, and I'm impressed. This especially with the interface changes that Leica did with this camera. This is like a whole new camera, and the way it operates, the way it maneuvers on the autofocus. I'm super stoked about it. I had some images where it definitely got dark. I was trying to take images of the people mover, monorail, whatever you want to call it in Detroit at different points to get some interesting cityscape images. I got some images of the new Hudson building at different points, and was just able to really enjoy what I was able to do with the autofocus and a new interface with the Q343. Made this outing a very enjoyable experience, and I took 120 images for that outing just with this camera, and then of course had the film camera, which in this point, you guys know at this point I shoot pretty much rangefinder, so had the MP with me so I can shoot that more. And when it comes to that, one of my favorite images with the MP was of the bronze dancer statue and the people mover coming across. So I'm liking what I'm getting. I'm liking that focus on detail that I get, lack of confusion and clutter from the color. Not that I don't like color, guys. I still plan on shooting color, but that's where I'm at so far for this month. That's what I'm enjoying so far from the cameras, from the GFX camera that I'm shooting with to the Leica Q3. Those are the top 2 digital cameras I'm using at the moment. They seem to be in the bag the most. And when it comes to the film camera, really it's a toss-up between the MP and the M7. But I'm enjoying it. Now, what I want to look at doing differently, well, only on the film side, there's something I want to change. And that is, I do want to try to explore films with less grain. And as you see over here in the background, I got them kind of all jumbled up here. I just got in the mail some Leica super monochromatic, if I'm saying it right. But this is their Monopan 50. And I've shot chromatic film before. I'm trying to remember who it was, but it was an 80 speed. And I can't remember, and I'll have to go back into my archives to see how I got along with it. But it came up as a contender along with Ilford's, along with the 80 speed. I'm trying to remember who it was that I thought of that I remember back then. But panchromatic film basically came up as an option for me to use that'll give me a finer grain, but give me some really good detail for portrait photos. And when it came to me just strictly putting in street, the Leica one, of course, came up at the 50 speed. So I'm gonna try this next. And I follow a YouTuber, Jamie and the Jam. He's out of the UK, and he did a challenge. He's doing a roll of film, 35mm film in 10 minutes. And so I kind of said on his third iteration of that series that he's released so far, that I'm gonna try to see if I can get out on a good day, because this is 50 ISO 50 speed film, excuse me, and it's gonna want a lot of light. And see if how I get along with this, trying to do that challenge. And I'll do a video on that for you guys so you can see how I've done. So and just for the end of the year, I'm gonna roll a lot of images now too that I didn't show of my outing so far this month, from digital to the film. And hopefully you guys enjoy that. And if I don't get a video out before the end of the year, which is in like 2 days, Happy New Year to everyone. Hopefully your 2025 was great. Hopefully your 2026 will be better. Nothing drives success more than planning. And I say that to myself. So may you plan your success well for 2026. And I'll see you guys on the next video.
Collab.